Ciao everyone, I hope you're doing well today. We focus on hip openers. We will practice front split or full split, straddle split, and some other variations. As a prop today, grab a pair of socks. We will use it for our yoga drills to slide on the floor. A yoga strap or an elastic band. This one add a bit of resistance. If you don't have any of those, maybe you have a belt that you can use as well. And then a couple of yoga blocks or thick books. Lord of the Rings, always a good choice. And then a wall, or even better, if you have a chair, something that you can then have your hands on for some of the other yoga drills that we will practice today. When you're ready to start, please come to your mat on the floor with your sit bones directly in contact with your mat. Sukhasana, crossing your legs. Take a moment here. Let's wrap our hands together, creating a bit of a heat here. And then rest your palms toward the hands. Slowly release as you inhale, reach up for the ceiling. Exhale, take your hands in Namaste. Once again, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale through the mouth, hands in Namaste. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Release your hands down on the floor. And then start initiating a bit of a circular motion from your hips. Maybe finding the Ujjayi breath if you use that type of breathing technique. Or allow your awareness to rest on the breath. Change the direction of the circles the other way around. And then slowly come back to the center. Then leave only your right leg to the front. I just turn. You will face the front of your mat as well. Figure 4 or half pigeon. You can keep your left knee 90 degrees as well, or you can take your left knee a bit closer to your front foot. If you feel like you're sinking to the side, then allow yourself to sit on a block. So you will place the block under the buttocks to level up your hips. You can also use a block on your right side to hold you up straight. Now from this position we move all the way forward, pass your hands to the front. Keep your spine nice and straight and move forward, move forward. Come in with your chest toward your right shin bone. Maybe releasing the forearms down on the floor. The neck nice and long. Slowly move up. Move up with your knees. You're facing the back of your mat, same thing. Now you are on the other side. Don't worry too much if you are going outside your mat in this phase. Then once again, prop yourself if you need. Otherwise, take a nice inhalation, extend your spine. As you exhale, move your hands toward the back. Allow yourself a few breaths in here. Keeping the awareness on the outside of your left hip now. As you inhale, come up. Then come up with your knees. If you need, you can lean back and use your hands behind to help you as we start moving the knees down, then up and then down on the other side. However, to train the hip mobility, if you can, don't use your hands, so you will have to stay a bit more up and then start moving with your knees. You can move from the hips, tilting the hips and using a bit of the core as well to help you as you do this type of movement. And yes, you will move probably around your mat. You won't stay completely in position if you're doing this other variation, and that's okay. And then come back facing the front of the mat. On the first side, you will have the right leg to the front. And then from this position, we move forward. However, this time our hands are just resting together. So you need a bit more activation here. Take a nice inhalation to move all the way up. And then this time swing your back leg to the front, maybe without touching your floor. And then change the side. You will have your left leg to the front. Take a nice inhalation here. Exhale, move into the front, hold. Inhale, rise up. Exhaling, swinging the back leg to the front and changing the position. Try not to use your hands on the floor. Inhale. Exhale, move forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, your back leg moving to the front, changing the direction. So you have your left leg to the front. Inhale here. Exhale, moving forward. We do one more time. Inhale, rise up. Swing the back leg to the front. Change the position. Inhale. Exhale, move forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, back leg coming to the front. Change the position of your legs. Inhale. Exhale, move forward. Hold. Inhale, rise up. Now bring both legs to the front. Allow your feet to be a bit wider than your hips. Move your hips so that you can place your hands to the front, straight spine. Keep your gaze to the floor in front of you. Keep breathing here. And then slowly release. Bend your right knee. Take your right foot close to your pubic bone. The other foot, the left one, is just on the mat. And then from this position, we will move all the way up. Coming up, maybe slightly turn your right foot so that it's parallel to the long edge of your mat. You find yourself in a sort of side lunge. And then we move into side flexion toward the left side. So left forearm on your left knee. Elongating the right side of your torso here. And then maybe reaching forward with your left knee. So you go over 90-degree angle. Slowly coming back. And rotate your right foot so that it's closer to the pubic bone as you move down and change the position of your legs. The left knee is down on the floor, right foot to the front. Moving up. Rotate, pivoting on your left knee. And then side flexion to your right. Opening the chest to the ceiling, looking up. Send your right knee a bit further out. You should feel it also on the ankles. And then moving up and release and come back. From your position, maybe you will need the hands next to you. Otherwise, move all the way forward, rolling all the way up. As you exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees in here. And then start squatting down into thunderbolt position. Your feet are together, your knees are together. Hands on the floor if you need. If you need your heels to be up, do so. And then inhale, halfway up, extend your legs. As you exhale, move the feet to the outside of your mat and squat down, maybe toes and knees pointing out into Malasana, the Yogi squat. You can keep your hands in Namaste to the front. In this way you can extend a bit more the spine by pressing out with your upper arms and then pressing inward with your inner knees. If you need support for your heels, you can place the blocks under the heels. In this way. And then move your hands down on the floor. Lean a bit toward your right and then open the left hip a bit more. Help yourself with the left hand. I'll show you also from the front. For you, it will look a bit more like I'm doing my right side. But let's use this opportunity to lift the left arm up. So we twist also with the body. Release, lean a bit more to your left side. Open the right hip a bit more. Use your right hand here. Gently, it doesn't have to be too strong, too intense. And then once again, let's twist by lifting the right arm to the ceiling, looking up. And then coming back down. Mandukasana frog pose, release your knees down on the floor. You might want to have a towel or a blanket underneath your knees. Flex your feet, moving the pubic bone down on the floor. Now, show you also from the side. If you start moving forward, it becomes a bit easier. So do so if it's too intense, otherwise keep your buttocks same level of your knees. If it's still too intense, you can take your feet together, pointing the feet toward each other. Press the floor away from you, whether with the hands on the floor, if you are with the hands, or with your forearms. Don't sink or collapse with the neck into the shoulders. Looking down on the mat. Keep breathing here. Then slide your right leg, extend your right leg, keep your left leg in a half frog pose. Rotate your right thigh so that you can place the pubic bone down on the floor. Maybe extend the left leg as you can, careful when you do this type of movement. Bend your left knee, come back, extend both legs, start bending the right knee. Flex your right foot, pubic bone down on the floor. I'll show you on the other side because I don't have enough space here, so I'm moving here. Option to extend right leg, slowly, mindfully. Keep pressing so that you don't fall toward your left side, otherwise you are not really engaging your right inner thigh. Bend your right knee, slowly release, press up, coming up with your body. From this position, come into a squatting position with your heels up this time. We will tap with the right knee down on the floor and then we come back to a squatting with the heels up, tap with the left and then down. And let's keep going. So now we are using the mobility here in the hips. Yes, the quads are working. Do one more time. And then we come back. Open your feet wider, toes pointing out, coming up into goddess pose. Your arms are resting either in front of your thighs or toward the back. Keep your spine straight, avoid to move forward. And then slowly extend, fall forward, parallel your feet toward each other. Hook the opposite elbow, slide side to side. Let's move the hands toward the right ankle, hold in here, fall toward your right leg. Maybe twisting a bit toward your right side. Back to the center, hands toward your left ankle, folding. Turning toward your left side, twisting. Back to the center, release the hands toward the floor into Prasarita Padottanasana. Top of the head toward the floor, look in between your legs. You can separate a bit wider your feet if you need, otherwise try to keep them not too much distantiating from one another. Inhale, extend your arms. Exhale here. Inhale, come up, arms spreading out. Exhale, interlace your fingers on the back. Inhale, extend elbows, look up. Exhale, C variation, top of the head toward the floor, hands moving back, using the shoulders mobility. Slowly release your hands, catch your ankles on the outside, keep folding, move your body weight a bit more to your toes, buttocks on the same level of your knees and top of the head over the floor. Inhale, halfway up, hands on the floor. Exhale, close your feet together. Fold in here into Uttanasana. Use blocks under the hands if you need. Look toward your feet. Now we start moving the hands at 20 centimeters in front of the feet, and we start lifting the toes up, more body weight on your hands, and then release the heels down. Toes, heels up. Release. One more time. Move to the toes, heels up, and release. Take one block, place the block under your feet. Keep folding. Leave a bit of body weight on your hands, buttocks stuck on top of your knees. Maybe add one more block. Step on top with your feet. Keep folding. Slowly come down, move your blocks aside. Take a nice inhalation, rise up. Exhale, fold. Hook your ankles, bend the elbows to the outside and fold. Keep the gaze over your knees or shin bone. Straight spine if possible, otherwise round. You are focusing more on the hamstrings. Inner rotation of your knees. Inhale, move your hands to the front. Exhale, step back to plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press up to Cobra or upward facing. Exhale into downward facing dog, stay here. Inhale. Exhale, send the heels toward the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees to the outside, squat down into bear squat, look toward your hands, jump your feet outside your hands, jump back to bear squat, jump forward, keep breathing, jump back, jump forward, jump back, jump forward, crow pose option, Bakasana. Moving down, crane pose, option, knees on your armpit, extend your elbows as you can, moving forward, maybe 90 degrees angle or over for your wrist. Release feet down, extend your legs, inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Keep your feet hips width apart, Padangustasana, grab your big toes, inhale. Exhale, fold. Look toward your legs, go toward your feet. One more breath. Release the hands under your feet. Padahastasana. As you exhale, bend the elbows to the outside and fold. 3 breaths. Inhale, body weight to your heels, slide your hands out. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press up, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right leg, reach up to the ceiling, point your foot. Exhale, open the right hip, bend your right knee, give a bit of body weight here to stretch your hip flexor. Come back, square your hips. As you exhale, step your right foot outside your right hand. Release the left knee down. Inhale, right arm reach up and over. Twist in here, send your right knee to the outside, to your right. Bend your back knee, catch your foot, stretch your quads. Keep breathing. If it's easy, release your left forearm down on the floor. Release, come back to the center. Pick yourself up. And then step all the way back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, left leg reach up, three-legged dog. Exhale, open the left hip, bend your left knee. Come back, square your hips, and then step your left foot outside your left hand. Right knee down. Open the left hip to the left. Left arm reaching up and over. You can also release your right forearm down on the floor if it's easy. And then bend your back knee, catching your foot. Release, come back, both hands down, pick yourself up. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your right foot in between the hands. Exhale, fold, pyramid pose, Parashvotanasana. Keep your hips in position, square to the front of your mat. Extend both legs. Blocks under your hands if you need. Otherwise, move your hands back, fingertips facing the back of your mat. Move your hands to the front. Start rotating the left hip to the left. Back foot 90 degrees for Trikonasana. We start rotating the torso to the left. Come higher if you need, or use a yoga block. Looking up. Release, Parivritta Trikonasana. Take your back foot once again 45 degrees. Keep rotating, hips square, and then start rotating with the spine instead. Twisting to your right, back heel down on the floor if possible. Slowly release, inhale. As you exhale, step back, down dog. Other side, inhale, left foot in between your hands. Exhale, fold into pyramid pose, Parashvotanasana. Blocks under the hands once again if you need, or fingertips facing to the back of the mat. Move your hands a bit further back. Keep extending both legs if possible. Keep breathing. Move your hands framing your front foot. Move the back foot 90 degrees to open your right hip for Trikonasana, triangle pose, to your right side. Keep breathing. Look down on the floor, parivritta. Your back foot once again 45 degrees. Square your hips and then start twisting from the spine to your left. Back heel down on the floor if it's possible. And then slowly release, stepping all the way back into down dog. From this position, move your knees down on the floor and take your socks. Put your socks on. And move the mat to the side for a moment. You can use it behind or under your hands if you want. Make sure that you have enough space to slide your legs to the outside. Come up to a plank position, feet together, and then slide the left foot up toward the outside of your left hand. Slide it back. On the other side we go. And back. Left and back. Right and back. One more time. And back. On the right and back. Knees on the floor. Give a break to the wrist, maybe opening and closing your hands. We repeat this one, but now we go on our forearms. So take your forearms on your mat. Coming up into forearms plank. Move the floor away from you, don't collapse with your shoulders. Left leg moving out to your left. Back, right leg, back. Left, back, right, back, left, back, right, back. Knees down. Sitting for a moment. Maybe you feel also your core working here. Then from your position, move the mat to the side. Take your blocks next to you. Maybe you need the blocks all the way up here. Maybe medium, low, or all the way down. And then from your position, move into a sort of a down dog. We start sliding the right foot forward and then sliding back. Sliding the left foot forward, sliding back, right foot forward and back. Don't open here with your hips. Keep going, keep sliding. Keep sliding. We do one more round on both sides. And then release the knees down, take a break. And then slowly release. Release your socks. You can position yourself once again on the mat if you like, or no mat. Come to Upavista Konasana. Grab your blocks and position the blocks on the inside of your legs. Then from this position, you might have to lean back, supporting yourself with the hands on the back, or keep your hands to the front and engage a bit more your core. Now from this position, we will move the right foot on the inside of the block and then to the outside once again. Other side, and again first side, other side, one more time, and then together at the same time, one more time, release and fold, keep your hands behind you if you need, flex your feet, knees up, moving up. Once again, either hands behind you or a bit more challenging, hands to the front. You might want to lean back, hollowing if your core muscles are not that strong, like mine. And then we lift the feet up, start making rolls, changing the direction, and then pointing up, 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 and hold, 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 breathe, and release. Place your blocks under your heels and fold. Once again, hands behind you if you need, or hands to the front. Keep breathing. Slowly moving up, release, move the blocks to the side just for a moment. Then from your position, cross your legs. Come to pigeon pose by extending the left leg to the back. Keep your right knee bent. You can have your right foot toward your pubic bone, it's a bit easier, or keep a 90-degree angle. If you feel like you're falling, place a block under your right hip. Stay or fold forward. Lift yourself up, buttocks down, swing your left leg to the front, place your left foot on top of your right knee, and tittibasana or fire log. If there is space on the other side, that's okay. You can position a pillow in between. If it's too intense, your left foot is going to be on the floor in front of your right knee, but keep this 90-degree shape, either with the foot on top, so foot on knee, or the foot in front, but still 90 degree. Inhale here, exhale, fold forward. Slowly release, come up, take a Gomukhasana, right knee down, your right foot outside your left buttocks, and the other knee on top. If it's too intense, extend your bottom leg, keep the bottom knee on top of the other. Inhale, extend your spine, exhale, twist to your right side. One more breath. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, counter twist on the other side. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale in, uncross your legs. Take pigeon pose with your left leg to the front. Inhale here, stay, or exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Swing the back leg to the front. Handstand fire log. Right foot on top of your left knee or in front. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Stay. Flex your feet. Keep your knees 90 degrees. Inhale, rise up, Gomukhasana. Left knee down, right knee on top. Once again, if it's too intense, extend your bottom leg, which is the left one this time. Find your position, extend your spine. We go for a twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist to your left first. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhaling, twisting on the other side. Inhale, come back to the center. And as you exhale, release, move forward. Slowly coming up and separate your feet on a V shape. Now from this side, so sort of prasarita, we will go all the way down, the hands in between the legs, possibly coming back with the fingertips facing behind you. And then start moving down. So you come down with the buttocks almost touching the floor or touching the floor. And then we have to come up. So press with your hands, rise up, arms extending out. Inhale, exhale, we do once again. Coming down, try to keep your feet down on the floor if it's possible, and rising up. And again. And we keep going. Last time, stay. Come to sit. Press to come up. Keep your straddle upavista konasana. Hands to the floor. Point your feet. Inhale, reach up. Rolls. Other side. Pulsing up. And hold. And release. Go to the wall. Open your legs. And then move toward the wall. So that you can place your pubic bone toward the wall. Always respecting your range of motion. Keep your spine straight if possible. Keep facing the wall. See if you can move a bit closer to the wall. You can do the same exercise by lying down on your back and taking the legs on the wall and opening the legs and just using the gravity for that type of exercise. Moving back. Close your legs, give a shake to the legs if you need. Come in all the way up into down dog. And then step your right foot in between the hands into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Stay here, opening the back hip flexor. You can move up, you can use the block here to help you to stay in a position. We will do a bit of progression of this pose. If possible, move your front knee over your ankle. Keep your hips square. Maybe arms moving up. Let's add a bit of a chest opener in here. And then release. Change the position. Other side. The arms move all the way up and back. And then release. Pick it up. And then we move once again toward the wall with the blocks. Take a blanket or a mat. Place it next to the wall. Then take your right knee on your mat and the right foot is resting on the wall. Come closer to the wall as you can. So you're stretching the pose on the right side. Now you have one block under your left foot because you use it to slide. And then you can use the other block under the left hand or under the right one. Maybe you don't need it, so no blocks. And then from this position, we start sliding the left leg to the front. When you reach your maximum, fold. Inhale, come up, and then use your strength to move the left block back, coming into a sort of low lunge situation. And then again, we slide forward and release the torso forward. So here we are stretching a bit more the hamstrings in this way. Use your leg muscles to come back with your block. And then once again, and fold. Coming up, back, release, we change the side. Left knee on your mat with the left foot on the floor, your right foot on your block, the hands on the floor or one hand on the block if you have it. And then once again, sliding forward and fold. Reaching up, moving back into a sort of a low lunge situation. Moving the foot forward and fold. Moving back. And then last time, moving forward with the leg. Folding. Moving back. Release. We're going to do the same thing for the straddle position. hold for a moment when you are into the extension, and then use the strength to come back. And once again, open, stay. And reaching up, we change the direction of the legs. So we slide now the other leg to the side and we hold. We come back up. Take your block with you, so you use a bit of strength. This is how we work on mobility rather than just passive flexibility. Come back into extension and stay. And then once again, coming back, release, use your block. Come to your mat, into half hero pose. We start with the right leg extended, the left knee down on your mat, left foot outside your left buttocks. Place your block under your right heel. And then fold forward. Hold your hands, hold your block with your hands. Keep breathing. Don't fall with your right leg and your right foot to the right. If you need, support yourself with the right hand by pressing to your left side. And then come back. If you find this one easy, you can stack two blocks on top of each other, or you can also use like that stool, for instance, that is a bit higher. Now we change, we go on the other side, so your left leg is extended, right foot next to your right buttock, place your block or blocks, and fall forward. Keep breathing. And then release. For the front split or full split, now move the mat away, but keep the blocks next to you. If you want more activation, more strength required, grab your socks, because then in this way you are sliding and you need to resist a bit the movement. Otherwise you can do it bare feet. You can even use shoes for this one. And now we are going to descend into the front split from a standing position. Now, for me, it's enough to have blocks or even no blocks, but you might want to have at least the wall next to you. So you stay here. I need to be like this, like Gollum, because otherwise I don't fit in the camera. But anyway, you come straight up and you have the wall at least on one side to help you as you start moving down. Or even better if you have in your house maybe two narrow walls like a corridor, or maybe a wall on this side and the other you have a chair, or maybe you have two chairs. Get creative. It's better if you know that you can go all the way down. It's better if you have such a thing like a wall or a chair that are higher, because what we are trying to do is that when we start moving down, Even if you have to fold a bit forward at the beginning with the blocks, then as you start moving into the front full split, you try to keep your spine nice and straight, so don't lean forward. Because in this way, if you stay straight up, you might feel it already, you have to work a bit more with the hip flexor on the back leg. And this is harder than actually going for flexibility on your hamstrings on the front leg. So this is how you acquire faster your front split, if you work more on the back leg, specifically hip flexor, bit of quads flexibility as well, rather than always working on the hamstrings by leaning forward. If you work only on leaning forward, hamstring flexibility, it will take you so far. But if you really want to master and get sooner into your front split, you need to work in this way. And then we press up, so we come higher up. Maybe you have the chair or the wall, so you will be all the way straight up here, say. And then we keep moving down. Try to keep your spine nice and straight as you move down if it's possible. And keep moving down. We stay a few more seconds on the same side. Try to keep your hips square instead of opening to the left. And then pressing up, and we change the position. If you need to wiggle your hips, bend your knees, take a break. And then once again, maybe you are up here with your props, then you start sliding. If you have the shoes or bare feet, you don't slide, so you're actually just walking. In this way, it's a bit harder when you have the socks, because if you just slide, you will fall on the floor. So you need also to activate the muscles. You need a bit of strength and engagement rather than just flexibility. And then, as I say, try to keep your spine nice and tall already as you descend. When you reach your maximum, curl the toes of the back foot if it's possible, if you are already almost down. Respect the difference in between the two sides. One side is different from the other. Keep breathing. And then we move up, pressing, moving all the way up as it is your prop. And then we go down another time. Try to stay straight with your spine. A few more breaths. And then slowly pressing up, shaking the legs if you need, wiggling the hips. We do the same now with the straddle, so blocks or chair to the front. And then we slide the legs out, feet on the floor, moving forward with your chest and torso. Start rotating. Maybe you can go a bit lower with your props. Keep moving forward. Knees and toes pointing up if you can, and then press up, close. Show you also from the side what I mean. We try, when we move out, to lean forward with the chest. So arch also a bit your back. And then this time come to sit. Rest a moment here. Slowly close, shake your legs. This is also nice drills that you can do, just sliding in this way. And then we finish up for those who are a bit more advanced, how you can use those positions, especially the straddle. We see today how to use it. So one thing that you can do with all those hip openers are some inversions. With the straddle, you can come up into a tripod position, pressing up from Prasarita Padottanasana up to a tripod pose. So I'll show you here with the mat. Move the socks away once again. So from Prasarita, a variation, top of the head on the floor. Hands on the same line of your feet, elbows bending back. And then moving the body weight a bit more to the toes so that you can come up. You can keep here the straddle. You use a bit of the gravity to work for your straddle position. Or maybe taking the feet together. They don't fit into the camera, but you got the point. So this is one variation that you can work on. And the other one is a press up from the straddle to handstand. For this one, I don't master the handstand yet, so I use the wall. One thing to give you an idea of how you should move the body and how it should feel is to face the wall, and I show you this one. However, don't get used to do this position or this variation, because with the wall behind you, facing the wall, you don't work on your shoulders. You work with the flexibility and the strength or the mobility in the hips, bit of core, but on the shoulders, basically nothing is happening. And if you want to master handstand, you need to work a lot with the traps, the arms muscles, the arm strength. So this variation is nice to work more on the hips and to give you a feeling, but not so much on working on the shoulders. So don't get too attached to this variation. I show you where I show you. I have too many plans. So let's try here. So in this case, you will face the wall. You come once again to a sort of a Prasarita variation. Lean forward, so the back of the head is resting on the wall. Come with the position already for, for your arms. So now your shoulders are a bit over. It looks like this. A bit over your wrist, so you need a good dorsiflication in the hands. And then from this, you will use the wall to help you to move up with your arms and your legs. Maybe you reach the feet together. You can place the feet on the floor and then move from the floor. Maybe hold headstand for a moment. Then to come back, once again, lean toward the wall. Open your legs on a straddle. And then you can also work from handstand to come down on the straddle. So you use your hips mobility and you training isometrically, so descending down instead of jumping up. But once again, there is not much happening into your shoulders. The other variation for working on straddle pressing up to handstand is to actually give the back to the wall. So if you don't master handstand yet like me, this is a bit more scary because you don't have anything behind you, but it teaches way more in terms of the shoulders strength that is required. And so you start once again from your Prasarita, come to your handstand position, shoulder same line of your elbows and wrist, protracting your shoulders. And then from here, you can use maybe the buttocks on the floor to help you, and then lifting your feet up. You hold, and then you release it down. And then once again, pressing, moving maybe on the toes, or lifting toes up, hold, and then release down. And this teaches you not only the mobility in the hips, you will feel probably more strength required also on the hips, but you will start working on the shoulders and arms as well. Also for arm balance, you can practice crow pose, crane pose that we practiced before, or go for variation of the pigeon pose from a plank position, bending the elbows, moving forward, and taking your left inner knee on top of the left elbow, maybe extending the leg. Or you can practice tittibasana, first in the rooster position, walking your hands in between your feet. Once again, a good wrist mobility is required, lean back. Now here this is rooster with the feet up, maybe interlacing the ankles, or butterfly pose, extending the legs as you can. Or you can practice one leg pigeon pose, bending the elbows. You start from a flamingo position with your right ankle on top of the left knee, bending the elbows, shin bone on top of your elbows, swinging forward like you do in crow, left knee up, maybe extending the leg up. So you can get creative with inversions and arm balance once you get a good mobility into the hips. Of course, you need to work also on the arm strength, shoulder strength, but just to give you the progressions that you can use once the hips are a bit more mobile. All right, let's rest and finish up our class here with a resting position, the one that I mentioned before. So come back to your wall. Open your legs. Now if you want to work more on the mobility, you will allow the gravity to open your legs a bit more. But now let's just use it as a resting position. So keep your legs slightly separated, just because it's a bit nicer than having them completely extended. You can even bend slightly the knees. Hands resting on your belly, maybe closing the eyes for a moment. Allow yourself to breathe in this position just a few more minutes of practice to internalize what we just did. Take a moment to recognize how you feel, aware of any physical sensations or emotions. Take your feet together, keep the knees opening to the side, as in a supported Baddha Konasana. Allow yourself a few more breaths here. Feeling the support that comes from the ground beneath you. And taking a moment to say thank you to your own body. Then slowly close your knees together, push yourself away, and then slowly curl toward one side, pause here for a moment in a side child pose. Slowly help yourself with one hand, come up to sit. Maybe close your eyes for a moment. Join your hands in Namaste in front of the heart center. Getting clear in where you're going next. Perhaps setting an intention or an affirmation for the rest of your day or your evening. And then slowly bow in front of yourself as a gesture of respect. When you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you learned something from today's class, that you had some fun. If you have any questions or feedback, do let me know in the comment section. I see you next time. Take good care of yourself. Ciao!